What's up, everybody? All right, we are back with another one from good friends of the show, Michael D and Bella. Love you guys. You've requested Voice of Besperat, and that was a lot of fun. Thank you for introducing me to that new band and all the wave of female voices and musicians that are coming out from all over the world. It's amazing stuff. And here we got Bloodywood that you brought back to us, Dan Dan. You mentioned those two songs, and you said two different countries. There might be a connection theme, though, which is interesting because the God allow me to please play music. Yeah, I connected with that message. I sympathized. I empathized with those ladies, and I talked quite a bit about it in that reaction. So I'm interested to see what the connection here is with this particular song, Dan Dan. Before I do that, let me get caught up with the boys because I know they've been blowing up, and I'm so happy for them. You know, they started out, you know, making covers, making some fun songs, some. You know, they got a good sense of humor, but more importantly, the tone of the fucking guitar that they have is kind of out of this world. And then the combination between that and the rap rock vocal that they have, fellas, got a great sound. They got a great sound. They really put it together tight to really come out hard. So good stuff. And right off the bat, looks like they're announcing a spring tour in the US. That is awesome. Let's go to their website. Check out their tour dates. Bloodywood, baby. Look at all that. So be sure, if you are in any of these areas, to check them out. Support the bands you love. It's great stuff. All right, I'm liking this thumb that they got here. Oh, hasn't even started yet, but I'm liking it. This came out a year ago, almost 4 million views. Awesome. The first comment already spoils it, so I see the thread. This is the most aggressive, respect women I've ever heard, and I love it. So first comment, but you know what? I had already thought this clearly has to do with women, because that's what the God allow me to please play music, the Voice of Besperat, that's what that song was about, and I connected with it immediately. I don't know about you guys, but I respect women. You know, I am a well-known mama's boy, and she was my best friend. I did lose her at a young age. You know, I was 20, she was only 40 when she passed away with cancer. But she made me the man I am. I'm getting sorry. I can't really evoke her name without it's you know, it's been a long time. But like I said, you never get over losing someone that close to you. You just kind of learn to live your life, but you never get over it. I don't know how you get over something like that. You just don't. You just enjoy the memory or whatever. I don't know. But let me collect myself. In 4 years of doing reactions with my wife, I've gone over a lot of our personal lives in various reactions when they came out. And I do recall specifically in a song by the band Hell Yeah, which was Better Man, requested by Disciple. I remember going into detail because it hit me hard, because that notion of being a better man, because one of the things I learned from my mom was indirect. And one of those things that was indirect was the way men treated my mom. As good of a person as she was, the men in her life were not super great. I won't go too much into details with my biological father, but they did divorce at a young age, and that was pretty traumatic for me. But my stepdad afterwards was a real piece of shit. So that was tough, and I talk about it in detail in that reaction. You guys can check it out on her channel if you want to see it. But I think that, you know, like I said, indirectly learned that I would never treat a woman that way. In other words, if I know I can't be faithful to a woman, I wouldn't be with her. I would rather be by myself. You know what I mean? The pain that it puts someone through, the betrayal. And it's not just the betrayal, it's the dragging on, it's the fighting. He went through a midlife crisis, did all the cliche things. And it's like when they first got together, he was abusive. And then later on, the abuse stopped. But then, it was fine for a while, right? He was only abusive to me and not her. The thing that always broke my heart with her is how she just wanted to be loved and respected, and it just seemed incredibly difficult. Now, what was interesting was when they did divorce, there was such a change in my mom. You know, there was like this growing after so many years of dealing with the bullshit of men. She became hardened. there was a moment where with the boyfriend that she ended up dating, I'm giving some serious details here, with the boyfriend that she was dating, he was kind of fucking with his ex-wife because they have a kid or whatever, and my mom, you know, busted them, but she didn't like cry or get all like emotional and stuff. Like, she was hardened. Like, she was just like ready to drop his ass, and he was kissing her ass, and she was unbothered because she's been so used to this for so many years. And on one hand it's sad, but on the other hand there was like this respect I had for her. Like, look how far she's come to where she doesn't need the validation of another man to prove her worth or to decide her happiness. You know what I mean? Whereas before, that's kind of what it seemed like, you know, and there was a lot of sadness there and a lot of pain. And you don't want to give that power to another person, especially a man who you can't trust. And that's just basic relationship shit. That's just basic stuff you got to deal with when dating men. We're not even talking about all this layer of extra shit that we're talking about here now. When you add religion and all this on top of that, with the control that they try to do to women, with the conventionality that they try to put women into, all in an attempt for the men to always have their cake and eat it too. That's always the goal there. And then when they don't get it, they get red pilled and they start incel communities and start being fucking assholes. And as a woman, it's like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. It's incredibly frustrating. So I'm pretty sensitive to that, and this is why I went on a bit of a tangent in that last reaction. So I don't know if this is going to put me in a tangent because I have gotten it out of my system the other day, but I just want you to know where I'm coming from. And I love and respect any man who is coming from this place, because man, if I could say anything to incels or red pills, is that if you really legitimately stop trying to act like they're some sort of property, or that they owe you something, or that you have to be more than what you are, you really don't. You just have to be yourself, be confident, and respect them. And they will respect you back. And don't confuse those that don't with women. Like, there's no generalities here. Of course, there's always going to be some asshole women. There's going to be plenty of asshole men. But that's not what you base things on. You put yourself out there in the world, and when the right one comes along, they will come along. Forcing it is what makes the feeling of desperation come off, and it, you know, it's you know, they can sense it. You just need to be relaxed. It will happen. Even if it happens a year from now, the point is until you are happy with yourself and being alone and being confident in that, you'll never be able to gain a partner truly, because that smack of desperation, that smack of trying too hard just will always be there. The moment you stop trying so hard, it will happen, because that's what looks attractive. That's what is attractive. The confidence is just being you and not caring, being unbothered. It comes off because then you can truly be yourself. Okay, I'm off on a tangent. We'll just get into this. But yeah, okay. I'm so sorry, guys. Let's do this. All right. I'm already loving the vibe. I'm ready. Am I ready? I'm ready. There's that tone, baby. Fucking love that. That's so sexy. I put a fist to the face of a rapist, and yeah, I take this for the viewing pleasure of the nameless faces he disgraces. And yeah, one day I may change his kind with my mind, but I won't bow to the beast, never make peace and feast on it. You're gonna let it eat to the white beat, but I gotta beat another beat. I'm gonna get the home in the seat. Dead beat, the elite going off like a time bomb. White heat, took him out like a python, bonafide on the side. Then we're gonna ride on up into your mind, and then we're gonna take it to the beat to the ear. Take it to the head, don't begin to shop. Think about it, think it's all, think it's all, think about it, think it's all, think about the ass, and all. So we're both sharing in the rap responsibility. Got a war makeup on.
Lords, we clean out the core and we do it for her too. It's anarchy up in the patriarchy and we're loving it. We done asking nasty, so now we're here hugging it. No man and no woman, it's the people that are running it. Listen for that engine, cause now we gon' be gunning it.
Energy, baby. Just occurred to me they should take on a female artist too.
Now if you're straight, time to turn back and run with the pack. It's time to fight, yeah, we got the ammo to stack. Fuck every man for himself, it's every man for every man and everybody else, everybody else. I raise a fist for the nameless faces. He disgraces, raise a fist for the nameless faces. He disgraces, and yeah, one day I may change his kind with my mind. One day I may change his kind with my mind. Raise a fist for the nameless faces. He disgraces, raise a fist for the nameless faces. He disgraces, and yeah, one day I may change his kind with my mind. One day I may change his kind, but until then,
The Rage. That's a badass cover right there. Makes me think I'm back a little bit. Now that was definitely too quick for me to understand. Probably should have pulled up the lyrics earlier. Let's check them out real quick. Like I said, I mean, they already have a great sound. I'm a fan of the old school nu metal. That guitar tone is probably my favorite, I gotta say. It's just in the perfect right place to really stimulate my brain cells. But yeah, I put a fist through the face of a oh shit. Oh shit. Okay. I'm seeing the Rage. Okay. I wasn't quite clear on the Rage. They brought this up, not me. So this was something that was on the back of my mind. Because going back to culture, even though this isn't like culture like classic culture, I'm talking about like toxic culture also develops in communities and areas. And rape culture, it's a problem everywhere, but it's particularly a bigger problem in areas where women are not respected or considered to be on the same level as men, because obviously they are not treated the same when they're victims. And that gives people license to attack them and abuse them with less fear, and thus it becomes more rampant. That is extremely upsetting. So to make a song about what you would like to do to these people, would be cathartic. And I understand where they're coming from here, because that is kind of what you want to do. All you have to do is empathize with what if it was a daughter or someone's mother that you knew or was your own. And that's the way we should all look at. We should look at that for everyone, but that's how we should look at all our ladies. For the viewing pleasure of the nameless faces he disgraces. That's exactly what I'm talking about here. And yeah, one day I may change his kind with my mind, but I won't bow to the beast. Never make peace. It feasts only if you're gonna let it eat. And that's the thing I was talking about. If you have a culture where, again, they're not equal and they're not treated the same as victims, the police, I mean, here, when did that story come out? I forget where it was, but there were like thousands, hundreds of thousands of rape kits that were never tested. Never tested. Just imagine that. To not care. To allow them to build up year over year. It's heartbreaking. So the wife beater, about to get a beating on the beat. I'm gonna get him at the home and the street, dead meat. And that's another thing. The idea that when you marry a woman, anything she does to slight you can result in her death or her beating or a stoning. And then a woman gets raped and she's looked at as not the victim, but as like sullied, right? I can't blame him for these lyrics, because that's all you really want to do. That's all you really want to do, is beat the living shit out of them. White heat, choke him out like a python. Go get it, boy. Bonafide homicide. Oof. When we're gonna ride on up until... But you know, it's like... Fuck. This is heavy, man. Okay, so this is clearly an Indian here. That explains why I was not able to understand it. Consent. Better get with it or get got. Got you in my sights, motherfucker. It's a headshot. You up in the spot. The only thing, obviously, vigilante justice. There's always the problem of possibly hurting someone innocent. So there's a reason why we have a justice system, but again, the justice system is failing them. That's the problem here. That's where the rage is coming from. The solution is to fix the justice system, not to go out there and take things into your own hand. But easier said than done if it's somebody you know. I can't imagine what I would do if someone put a hand on my daughter or wife. Whew. Holy shit. It's gonna be a long day for them, that's for sure. Talking all in, do more. Boy, it's a war. Chainsaw. You get the point. I mean, I think we're getting the gist of what's happening here. It's anarchy up in this patriarchy, and we're loving it. You guys are reveling in this a little too. I love it, man. I'm here for it. Shit. I can't blame you. You know, there's one thing that every man can relate to is fucking violence. Oh, Jesus. Even a pacifist can relate to this when he's thinking about, you know, again, someone just touch one of my ladies, bro. See what happens. Holy fuck. Oh, man. This is laughter of rage. This is not... Like, there's tears in my eyes right now because I'm just imagining it and the insanity that can ensue. Holy crap! I gotta stop reading these lyrics. This is this might get a little uncomfortable for you all. Yeah. Now is if you stayed, time to turn back and run with the pack. It's time to fight. Yeah. Fuck every man for himself. It's every man for every man and everybody else. Ah, shit. Okay, sorry about that. Problem with empathy is when you start imagining things, it starts to feel a little too real. So that's this is what happens. Okay. One day I may change his kind. Yeah. I don't know. It's so weird when you're thinking about changing culture. Like, you know, in America, gun culture, like literally before I got on this reaction, I saw a shooting at a mall in Texas. And every day there's another shooting here or there or everywhere. And we literally have a gun culture in America where shootings have become the norm. And we're so desensitized by it that... And we're desensitized because we have to be. Otherwise, what are we going to go crazy? It's literally happening every day. How the hell are we going to mentally be stable with this stuff going on? You know, if you let all that in, you wouldn't leave your damn house. You can just carry a gun now and it's okay without a license. Where are we headed here? This is stupid. And this is what I'm saying with the gun culture. So not only is it a gun culture, but now we have a culture of shootings. So it's not just about carrying guns. The culture actually is about shootings. Just like rape cultures, you have these cultures where it starts to be okay in society and it starts to become something that's on people's minds as a viable option. How do you, as a society, fix that when it's so systemic? How do you teach a man to love a woman in a healthy way without, you know, what is his background? What is his relationship with women? Was he abused? How do you... With all the other problems, everyone's fighting for food and survival and a paycheck. And on top of that, we have to sit there and worry about mental health and whether we're taking care of our fellow man and how we treat our women. Like, there's so much going on. How the fuck do we... Like, are we surprised that it is so difficult? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, in most sci-fi, when aliens reach the ability to do interplanetary travel, they're pretty much unified on a world basis, right? That seems to be what's happening in those, because at that point, they've gotten so intelligent and so advanced that they look at their world as a whole and they're using all their resources to be able to move on to the next stage of life, right? So if you compare that to where we are, we're basically still just a bunch of dumb fucking animals. You know? We're tribes. We're bigger tribes now, but we're still tribes. Distrusting of other tribes. Fighting amongst each other for resources and for control and for land. Comment below if you have the answer. Again, laughter of absolute horror. If you can't laugh at it, what are you gonna do? Oh my. Oh my. How did we get here? Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, fella. Oh, shit. And here I was thinking I wasn't gonna go on another rant. Anyway, guys, so fucking proud of you. I just love this goddamn thumbnail. Oh, man. So fucking proud of you guys. Keep up the good work. Be good men. For the love of God, all of you be good men. With that, I love you all. All right. Keep the community together. If you want to make your request, go to our Patreon, support us, and see our old videos, as well as make your own request to my channel. But I love you guys. All right. Let's keep this community going. One community at a time. What else can we do, right? We can't control the whole world. All right, guys. Love you. Bye.